Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel for a little project share. So this is a Make a Splash album that I've made. Now I can't take credit for this design or this idea because this is an album designed by Cal Summers. Now Cal Summers was the Graphic 45 brand ambassador last year and she did such an amazing job, and she is pretty much the reason why I am in a position to be a brand ambassador this year. So this isn't one of my Graphic 45 brand ambassador projects. This is actually, I don't know how, but it just happened to be, in January I signed up to Cal's sub box. Now in the link description below, I'll add a link to Cal's Facebook page and to her YouTube channel as well, because what Cal does is she offers some amazing free tutorials. She offers some online classes, but one of the things she does is sub box. So you sign up, it's like a monthly club, and then every 3 months you get your subscription box, your sub box. Now this isn't meant to be stuck on, that's just hiding my address, so yours won't come with this. And it just happened to be that she'd chosen this month the Make a Splash papers. Now, unfortunately, these were out of stock when the ambassadors got to pick theirs, so I didn't actually get my hands on some. So I was really, really chuffed that she'd chosen this paper and managed to get some of this. So in the sub box, you get all the materials you need, apart from the glue, to make your album. And they're quite open, so you can add your own little twists. So when you open your sub box, you'll see I've still got some full sheets of the Make a Splash. I've got loads of images, loads of little pieces, so I can see some either small project or some cards being made. And even though I still got all those bits, I've actually even made a card. So you might have already seen this, or you might see it soon on my channel. So this was made with the leftovers as well. And everything comes in this amazing box. Even the sticky pearls I've used on the cover, and the pearl strings. So you can see the sticky pearls I've put on there. You get printable cutting guides, so you can print off, and you get access to videos and photos of the projects as well. So it's a really, really fun subscription to be a part of. So let's have a look at what I did. I was quite good with the cover. I stuck to the same motif Cal used. So the only difference I added to the main topper was I added some glossy accents to the tail. And I used the striped paper for the edge, and that meant when it went round we had the stripes coming down and onto the back. Now it's probably me, I couldn't find a picture of the back, so I just went for this. Now it's a bit of a Frankenstein page, that meaning the paper came round to here. I had this strip left over from something else, but it was a bit short. So from this paper, I cut, or it could have been one of the other papers, I'm not quite sure, this little stripe here. So this isn't part of this paper, it's been added on just to fill that gap, and a little topper on the bottom. So I could add some glossy accents to the back as well, but I tend to keep that just for the front. Yes, Cal, I do need some work on my dangly bits here. Haven't quite figured those out yet, so as I said, this comes in the kit as well for you to add as you wish. I also, Cal loves a fussy cut, so shells and more shells were fussy cut from the papers and added. And I don't think you can see very well, but each of these little was it air bubbles? I don't know what they were. I've actually added some glossy accents to them. Not sure it's showing up on camera. So that was my cover. So should we have a little peek inside? So this is what did it for me, was the pages. So when you open it up, these acetate pages. Aren't they amazing? So I am going to have to admit, in the tutorial, Carl does show us which bits to fussy cut. I took the cheats way. I did say the Graphic 45 ambassadors, we weren't able to get these papers because they were sold out, they were so popular. But what was left was the ephemera packs. So I did, in my ambassador pack, grab a set of the ephemera pieces. Oh, they're upside down. So the ephemera sorted, came with some of the mermaids already cut. So sorry, Carl, yes, I did cheat a little bit. But I kept the base, right? And what was brilliant with this sub kit is you usually get like a little tool or a freebie in the kit. And we had Mark make us a Maker's Mark tool, which helped us to make these hills or waves in this case. So we had these little wavy shapes, and we had this special tool which we could use. And I think, if I'm right, Carl has got that in the shop. So if you wanted to buy this class and use different papers, you can actually buy the class on its own, just the virtual class. And you can buy the tool as well. You just don't get the papers and the cardstock and everything else. But you still get your downloadable cutting guides and things. So let's have a look through the book then. So let's start on the inside cover. Yeah, I went off piece here as well. I've used different papers to what Carl used. And I used one of the ephemera pieces just to decorate this Make a Splash. And then the photo mats, I'll be honest with you, I haven't finished these yet. The reason being is I'm hoping to get my hands on some of the patterns and solids so that I can just use a pattern and solid on the inside. But I've still got some of the papers left I could have used. But rather than use those lovely papers on the inside, I thought, hopefully next time I can get some Make a Splash papers in my brand ambassador pack. And then these photo mats then just slide in like so. And you can leave them like that. So you flip them up and pull them out. Or I like to tuck this one in because I quite like the Make a Splash there. And then each of our pages has this acetate insert, and it creates a little scene. So you can see the depth going through. So isn't it a wonderful 3D effect when you look through it? So this book is pretty much to show off some of the images more than anything. I mean, the pockets at the front and back are for your photos, but it's just such a wonderful thing. But let's have a look. If I grab from the kit one of the cards. Now, Graphic 45 has stopped doing the journal cards with the new kits, but in the paper pads, you get an image sheet, which is a big sheet with different, squares or rectangles on the front. And when you cut them out, the back has a journal card on it. So even though they're not making those packs, we can still do things. So I'm quite excited about that. So let's pretend this is my, I think, oh no, it's smaller than 3x4. Let's pretend this is a 3x4 photo. So page 1 was quite a busy one. Now I did make mistakes. She was meant to be further back and moving the mermaid. So I had to improvise when I got to the end, but you'll see it worked out in the end. We've got some fussy cut shells. So yeah, I did do fussy cutting. I didn't do a full-on cheat. Let's have a look. So anything with this bluey background, that was from the ephemera kit. This was fussy cut. So this mermaid, she was cut from the papers. This is one of the ephemera pieces. So this was from the ephemera kit as well. These were fussy cut. So we move it over and you'll see the tool really does help you to create your matten layers. So if you had a little small photo, I suppose you could stick it there. You could stick one there. And because we're working back, you'll see now there's less and less on each page. So you have got spaces where I suppose I could do a little border there, and I did consider it. But what I didn't like was then this side didn't have one, unless I had one which went all the way across and quite shallow. But then I was thinking, well, what's the point? Because you'll see in a bit, you'll see we have got places for photos. And here, if we did put a photo, it's going to be seen behind there. So when we get to here, we've now got some spaces we could put some smaller photos there. Like if you've got your Instax camera like we've got, which the boys love, you've got room for a little photo there as well. And you're not going to see it behind the hill as much. But from now on, I did start adding some tuck spots. So let's have a look at this one. What did I do here? Carl does show how to get all this from your page, and it is actually very, very clever how little paper you used, because I think both of this came from one sheet. But the only thing I did do different, I did my faux mitre corners on mine. Carl's is straight cut, but I just added my little pawl touch to it. And I think if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I like to do this little faux mitre. And I've got videos, if you look back, where I show you how to do that. I think there's one card one especially, which is just dedicated to faux mitre corners. And as I said, now we're getting to a place where we can start putting photos. So I've used some of that border paper, that one, all the way across. And this is where I had to be clever, because she should have been there, she should have been on this one, and the swimming one was supposed to be there with one on each one. But I got a bit carried away, but it worked. I think it worked. I liked this clock. So I took the clock from the ephemera piece. I backed it on some of the paper I had left over, this one. And then just freehand cut it out. So you can see the paper is on the back there. And then just glued it. And I think it works. I quite liked it anyway. And then flip it over. We've got another tuck spot. And we've moved into all these light lilacs here. And at the end, another Frankenstein pieces. So I just took one of the journaling card images ones and just worked my scrap bits around it. So it's a great way to use up all those little leftover pieces and just ties everything in. So you'll have a look, the front and back, I did make them the same, except for the make a splash. So now I can slide this one in. Slide this one in here. I should slide all in so I can see the make a splash. And the books, and there's still room. I can tuck more things in should I wish. So a big thank you to Cal Summers for the idea for this and for accompanying me on the journey. You were on my video, on my iPad, as I made it. I'm one of those people, I watch the video all the way through first before I start making, so I know where I'm going, and then I craft along with it. So thank you, Cal, for such a comprehensive video, for all the cutting guides, all the printables. It really is a great subscription box. If you haven't had a look at them, head to her page by going below and following the links. So please let me know what you think about this, and what other papers could you use? What sort of other ideas could you have for these hill-shaped papers? Because I was thinking of doing the Stamperia Savannah. That would be quite nice with all the African animals disappearing through. I did originally think about using little things and having all the fairies from the Graphic 45 kit, but Cal actually used that one in her example in the video for the sub box. So, okay, so great minds think alike, and I'm going to stick to that even though Cal has a different saying for that. So thank you for watching, and please give Cal a follow, and I can't wait to show you some of my Graphic 45 kits, and please stay tuned for more videos.